All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Bob Arum strikes again with his usual nonsense, says that Errol Spence is hiding from Terence Crawford, and that Al Haymon and the PBC are losing money on Spence. And if they're tired of losing on Spence, then they need to call him about the Terence Crawford fight. If you listen to what Bob Arum has said over the last month, you know that this octogenarian is stuck in an insanity loop that really needs to stop. Somebody needs to get that dude an intervention. Let's talk about that in this. All right, welcome back. So, Bob Arum is bumping off at the lips again about a PBC fighter after they have a really good fight. And what is he doing? The normal Bob Arum counterintelligence boxing program by just saying things that are exactly the opposite of what everybody knows to be the truth, and feeling like if he says it enough that he will be able to, as he said in the past, kick boxing fans any direction he wants like stones. Just by saying something or having a media guy write something, he can change your mind and make you think that what is real is not real. And what is not real is as concrete as things come. That is why I say that Bob is running a counterintelligence program in boxing. By counterintelligence, I literally mean countering intelligence, making you feel stupid, making you believe things that are not true or true, and making believe things that are true or not true. But let's go through it. Bob Arum says that Errol Spence Jr. is hiding behind Al Haymon. First things first. Just last year, or maybe a year and a half ago, Al Haymon didn't exist at all. That was the conversation that he was having with Errol Spence Jr. Maybe a year and a half ago. There is no real Al Haymon. Has anybody ever seen Al Haymon? Errol Spence Jr. tells Bob Arum, hey Bob, here's my promoter's number. And he pulls out his phone and he shows him his number. Hey, this is how it can get done. Does Bob call Al Haymon? Does Bob call Errol Spence Jr.? Not that we know of. However, let's just analyze this, man. He says that Errol is hiding behind Al Haymon. When? Was he hiding during the car accident? You know what I mean? Or let's back up. Was he hiding behind Al Haymon when he fought Sean Porter? Sean Porter, you know, the guy that Terence Crawford won't fight? Was he hiding behind Al Haymon when he got in that car accident and he had to dig himself out of that hole that he put himself in over 14 months to get himself back into world championship shape and get in there and fight Danny Garcia, or to prepare for Danny Garcia? Was he hiding behind Was he hiding behind Al Haymon when he did that? Was he hiding behind Al Haymon when he jumped right back out and fought Danny Garcia, a world-class top welterweight who has given everybody that he's ever fought a difficult fight, if not beat them? No. If he was hiding, he wasn't really doing a really good job of hiding, because it seems like everybody can find him. But hey, are you hiding Bud though? That is a different question. Now let's move to the next one though, because this is the hilarious one. He says that Al Haymon and the PBC are losing money on Errol Spence Jr. Losing money on Errol Spence Jr. And if they want to make money, then they need to call to Bob Arum, and we need to try to make this fight, right? But here's the problem. Just this month, because Terence Crawford just fought. Before the fight and after the fight, all Bob Arum was saying was how Terence Crawford was losing him money. And you can look at his net worth and how these fights aren't making money, and he's spending money, but Terence Crawford's not promoting. He is saying that he's losing money on Terence Crawford. So let me get this right. You're losing money on Terence Crawford. You say, Bob Arum, that Terence Crawford is turning down certain opponents where he had opportunities to fight and have a better fight, right? But you're losing money on him. Errol Spence Jr., despite back-to-back pay-per-views, despite multiple fights in arenas, sold-out fights in arenas, somehow Bob Arum has the visibility into the checkbook of Al Haymon or the balancing sheets of Al Haymon to tell that they're losing money. Well, if that's true, then Terence Crawford is losing money over here for you. Errol Spence Jr. is losing money over here for the PBC. So why are we talking about this fight? Why are we talking about the fight? You want to make fights between two guys that lose money every fight, thinking that maybe if you put them together, maybe you'll learn a little money? Now, do you see where I say counterintelligence program? Why I say he's trying to counter your intelligence? You just saw Errol Spence Jr. in a pay-per-view fight where people charge $75. You know full well that he was in a stadium where there was 17,000 people watching him in the middle of a pandemic. Everybody seems happy. The PBC is never out there complaining about money. They're over there on Fox, where Fox is promoting their pay-per-views, and Showtime, who's been in boxing longer than any active channel, is happy with the PBC. But for some reason, they're losing money. Why make the Terence Crawford fight then? Why say, oh, if you really want to stop losing money on Errol, come talk to me? Talk to you about what? You don't even know how to make money off Terence Crawford. What sense does this make? Do you see? It doesn't. It's just stupid, pretty much. Just stupid. Terence Crawford, Bob Arum, right, sits there and tells you to your face with a straight face, right, that Terence Crawford is losing money for him. Despite Terence Crawford getting better with no promotion, right, on ESPN, not spending promotional money on Terence Crawford, still does better numbers than Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez on average for their ESPN show. But yet, with no promotion, maybe you got a problem. Maybe you should have been promoting the Terence Crawford fight instead of the Lomachenko-Teofimo Lopez fight. That way, you could have got a lot more views on who is obviously your most popular fighter. But Bob Arum can't even tell that Terence Crawford is his own, that is his best fighter. So what is it? None of this makes sense. It's all confusing. And it is all dumb. It's just plain out silly. The idea, for example, how long will they tell you that Deontay Wilder didn't sell tickets? Nobody knew Deontay Wilder, despite the fact that there is literally 1 million people watching him on Showtime, at the time, the smallest of the boxing networks, and is doing maybe the best way to describe it is as a percentage of the subscriber base, he's getting higher numbers than anybody in boxing with his numbers that Deontay Wilder was doing on Showtime. But yet, in this counter stupid program, nobody knew him. Don't you find it amazing how the explanations that these established media guys give you or boxing promoters give you about black American fighters and how they just don't seem to make any sense when you actually look at the numbers, right? Because they don't make sense. It is just them trying to convince you that Errol Spence Jr. is not worth watching. They are going to try to pour water, dump sand, however you want to say it, on anything positive coming out of the PBC, because if people get too excited about the PBC, that means that Top Rank and Golden Boy have to change their models and start having to give you fights that people actually want to see, and that, my friends, will affect their bottom dollar, because Bob Arum's not interested in making big fights. He's interested in making a bunch of little fights that he can make the majority of the money on, because to him, it's what happens at the end. What is my profit? How much money is hitting my bank? And that's what it is. And they will sell you any line they need to sell you in order to get you to do what they want you to do, which is to support Teofimo Lopez, support Emmanuel Navrat, support fighters that you just do not care about, Monster Inoue, not your American fighters that you can just go and see in Dallas whenever they decide to fight. Not that. We need something imported, something we've never seen before, nor do we currently care about. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Bob is full of it. You let me know what you think. And with that, I'm out. Peace.